Welcome to a fantastic Friday edition of JoyNews Interactive with me, Mapisa CBD.
And Bernice Abubedo. I like the way you say fantastic. Fridays are exciting, aren't they?
Especially when I'm with you.
Exactly, yeah.
Coming to you live from digital address GA 0992539 Kukumemile Accra.
And we're also very interactive on our social media pages. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter. We are JoyNews on TV.
We're also on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 144. On YouTube, we are My Joy Online TV. Now, Bernice, yesterday we laid the diplomat, Africa's son, to rest. And I mean, it was so emotional. You know what? Somewhere, somehow, I'm professing that I'll be in the UN. you know, so an inspiration to all of us, really.
Definitely an inspiration to all of us. And it was just nice to see, like you say, how diplomatic he was. I mean, you could just see it at the funeral. Very solemn, very beautiful ceremony. All the people there who came spoke about his life, and even the preacher couldn't help it but focus his sermon on Kofi Annan's values of humanity, humor, humility, and it was just great yesterday. But it was really emotional because yesterday it hits you really hard that this is it. You're not seeing him again. He's gone, and he's gone for good.
For good. So we asked people on the streets of Accra, what impact did he make on your life, and what lessons did you learn from him?
Is somebody that I really admire. To me personally, he is an inspiration to me. Ever since I got to know about him from childhood, I've always desired to be at where he has been.
Kofi Annan, I remember him for his role that he played at the UN, for being the first black African to lead the United Nations, and with the impact, what he has done for the whole world, and how he has portrayed and always left the legacy. And even in his work, everything shows that he's a Ghanaian. The way he speaks, everything that he does, he shows that he's from Ghana. And I'm very proud that he ever lived and he did serve the nation very well. Well, I remember him for being a good leader and a shining example to all black Africans that no matter our color and where we come from, we can also do something.
One of the statesmen in Ghana. What I remember most about Kofi Annan is when there was war at Kenya, he was called by United Nations, and because of that, Raila Odinga is here to mourn with him. And Kofi Annan has helped Ghana a lot. He has extended the name of Ghana to a lot of countries, and I believe because of him, even the whole world, people have heard about Ghana, and there has been an increase in tourism. Everybody wants to know where Kofi Annan came from since he became UN Secretary General.
When we talk of Kofi Annan, I would remember him to be I think he was the former Secretary General for UN, and then he held the highest position in the world. And I know he was a great man. I think for his great works, I think he's okay. And then he was humble. That's what everybody was saying about him. He was humble, respectful. He served his country well.
About our hero, Kofi Annan, he served the country and the entire world. And it is sad for him to depart. But as Bible says, it is appointed for a man to die. And to all of us, we have to be mindful whatever we are doing. We should think about how the service we can serve for others to be benefit. Kofi Annan is now celebrating across the nations of the world because of his good work. Kofi Annan, rest in peace. You are our hero. We will always remember you for the great and your humility and your sincerity serving the UN and the entire nations. We celebrate you. We say God bless you. Wherever you are, we know that our good God will always remember the good work, the seed you sow, and it will generate for the next years. For entire world will always remember you. We thank you, Kofi Annan.
Yeah, I just know he's a UN General Secretary, former UN General Secretary, and he's from Ghana, that's all. He did nothing for Ghana. Nothing. Just he's a former UN General Secretary, that's all. Yeah, he did nothing for Ghana.
So I really like what the second guy said. He was a shining example to all Africans.
Exactly, Mapito. And it's interesting that many people consider him, like I said earlier, when we're young, you didn't understand who the Secretary General is. It's the president of the world.
Yeah.
So many people considered him at the time the greatest leader of all nations. And it's interesting that people say he didn't do anything for Ghana. But like I always say that he was not involved in active politics on the forefront here in Ghana. But to say he didn't do anything, maybe a bit debatable.
Yeah.
Because I remember during the 2016 elections when there was a bit of uneasiness about the elections and the results and the delay. When he spoke, there was some calm.
Yeah.
He actually addressed all interested parties to accept the verdict. So yes, it may not be as you see on the fore, and President Kofi yesterday paying his tribute said he received some great advice. Who knows what that advice is? We don't know, but you can never really tell. The fact that you didn't see him in active politics in Ghana may not necessarily mean he did nothing
for Ghana.
Yeah.
So Bernice, every morning when I wake up, I ask myself this question: what world am I trying to create for the future generations? What world are you trying to create for the future generation?
In fact, I'd like to see a world free of war, a world free of crime. I'd like to see a world that's full of love and excitement, and everybody doesn't have to worry about keeping themselves locked up or keeping their cars locked up, because we're all going to show love to one another and we're all going to keep each other safe. That's the kind of world that I wish we would have. I wish I could just close my eyes and open it and I wouldn't hear of a Syria, I wouldn't hear of an ISIS, and all those things.
And all those things. But let's see what Kofi Annan, what world he was trying to create.
The world that I'm working to create is a world that should be of interest to all of us. I'm working to create a world that is stable, that is peaceful, where we as human beings realize that we cannot consume the resources of the world the way we are doing, as if there's no tomorrow. It's going to be a disaster for our children and our grandchildren. The farmer knows instinctively that if you take something from the earth today, you have to put something back to be able to return to harvest tomorrow. Somehow when we move to the city, we lose that instinct. We need to create a world that is equitable, that is stable, and a world where we bear in mind the needs of others and not only what we need immediately. We are all in the same boat. Let's say in a cruise, boat sometimes seems too small. Let's say we are all in a cruise. Some may be in the best suites in the boat, others may be in a little dinghy hole somewhere. But if the ship begins to take water, whatever end of the boat you are, whatever your accommodation, we are all at risk. We should reach out and work in partnership with civil society, with the private sector, with foundations, for philanthropies, focusing on the need of the individual. Yes, states are important and their concerns are important, but at the end of the day, it is the citizens and the individual needs which are important. Huge problems like genocide begins with one individual, the humiliation of one individual. And so the focus on individuals and people is the right one. And if we work in partnership and we all do our little bit collectively, we will make a giant contribution.
Every morning when you wake up, ask yourself, what world am I trying to create? You might not change the world at one go, but you know what? We all start somewhere. So let's start today.
Yes, and I think you couldn't have put it in a better way than to say the very little that you do collectively
makes a difference. We
can achieve something really great. And I must say that, look, I'm sure, I was telling Mama V yesterday that I'm going to tell my children about Kofi Annan. I think he's a great man. Great personality, amazing soul.
All right, on that note, we're going to take a quick breather. Do stay tuned. You're still watching JoyNews Interactive with me, Mapisa Sibidi, and the fantastic
Venice Abu Baby. Thank you so much. Mobs, it's now time to tell you what our most watched videos are for the week. And if you're a regular of this show, you know that every Friday we let you know what our most watched videos on our Facebook page are. And Mobs, the first one, it's a very interesting one. Last week we had one from the NDC regional delegates election, or regional elections leading, where this MP was talking about the fact that the NDC stole coins, but the NPP stole dollars. And this one is also from the NDC's camp. Tell us what's about.
All right, so now it's about Mahama and him coming back.
Okay.
And then, so it's just a lot of controversy and, you know, politics and politics and more politics. But Brennan, how many views did that have?
All right, so we had 118,000. That is quite a lot. And it's about one NDC member saying that former President Mahama will come back like Jesus Christ.
I'm bringing that we should win the 2020 election. That's my vision. We must win. We must win the election. We must win. But the MPP said that they must win the election. Today, we also must win the election.
You don't have a strategy, you don't have a message, or your message is that we have to win the election.
I won't tell you now. I won't tell if election day, if you meet me, I'll give you the message. I won't tell you now, but you are winning the 2020 election.
With Azoka?
With John Mama and Azoka. But, you know, you Christian, you said Jesus will come back. Or Jesus will come back. John Mama also will come back. If so far as Jesus is coming back, John Mama also will come back. Jesus will come back because he didn't finish his work in the world. You understand? Now, John Mama is coming to work the rest of the work he left. So 2020, I'm dealing with Ghanaians. They should not vote bad votes.
Interesting video.
Very interesting. Okay. So that was the aspiring first vice chair, aspiring national vice chair of the NDC. He's called Chief Sofo Azoka. And a very interesting analogy he gives them. I've never heard anything
like that. Yeah. All right, our second one.
Our second most watched video rather is on a sad note, and it's Kofi Annan's son, Kojo Annan, paying tribute to his father, and that had 9.8 thousand views.
To me, he was simply Daddy, my hero. Over the past few weeks, much has been said about my father as a statesman, Today, I want to share what he was like as my daddy. Daddy's singular gift was that he believed ferociously in humanity's potential. He believed in our ability to see past superficial differences and embrace our common destiny to create a world more equal. He believed in everyone's ability to achieve extraordinary things if they were simply given the opportunity. And he believed in the redeeming power of love. He believed in that for all of us, and he believed in that for me. When I was 7 years old, as you've heard, I lived alone with Daddy in Geneva. I repeat, alone. It was a relatively novel for a traditional African man to be raising a kid solo, but Daddy made it work, and he made it great, even while juggling senior level responsibilities at the UN. When I had peritonitis and needed emergency surgery, within a day, Daddy dropped everything and was by my bedside. When things fell apart in my life, Daddy would put me back together piece by piece. When the world turns back on me, Daddy stood by me. He loved me unconditionally.
And I think that's every dad's job. When the world turns back on you, Daddy has got you.
Really emotional. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about this because it really gets to me. But our third most watched video also had 7,000 views, and it was also about dignitaries eulogizing the late former UN Secretary General Mapita. So those are our most watched videos for the week.
For the week. Thank you so much, Bernice.
Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
I always look forward to a Friday. It's exciting doing
come on,
this with
fantastic
you.
Friday. Thank you so much for watching JoyNews Interactive with me, Mapita CBD.
And Bernice Abibidi.
Remember, we stay interactive on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're JoyNews on TV, DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 144, and on YouTube, we're My Joy Online TV. It's a Friday, so we're going to leave you with a very interesting video of the day. Take care.
I love you, my girlfriend. And you must give me a lot of children. I love you, my girlfriend, and you must give me a lot of children. Because you are beautiful. Your idea is good too. I can marry you. Because you are beautiful. Your idea is good too. I can marry you.